Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive into a topic that might seem, I don't know, kind of ordinary at first glance.
Oh, yeah. I think we've all got them. Family traditions.
Traditions, yeah, exactly. Those sometimes silly, sometimes sentimental things our families do year after year.
Right. Like, is it really that big a deal that we always, eat spaghetti on Tuesdays or whatever?
Well, get ready to be surprised, because today we're going to uncover why those rituals, those traditions, are way more powerful than we might realize.
And not just for, like, warm, fuzzy family bonding, though we'll definitely get to that.
We're going deep, folks, into the psychology, the philosophy, even the financial impact of these traditions.
Drawing on some pretty fascinating research and even some insights from Buddhist philosophy. Buckle up.
Okay, before we get lost in the deep end, let's set the stage here. What's the mission for this deep dive? What are we hoping to uncover?
Well, I think a lot of us might have those traditions that feel, I don't know, more like routine than anything meaningful, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. Sometimes it feels like we're just going through the motions.
Exactly. So what we're going to explore is how these traditions, even the ones that seem kind of mundane, can actually have this, like, ripple effect on our lives.
A ripple effect, huh? Okay, I'm intrigued. So are we saying that having a set movie night every Friday can somehow make us more successful or something?
Well, not quite that directly, but what we'll uncover is how those traditions, those repeated actions and shared experiences can build this foundation for stronger families and even more fulfilling lives.
Okay, I'm officially hooked. And while we go through this, I want you, dear listeners, to think about your own family traditions.
What are those things that come to mind? Are there any that, like, really stand out?
Yeah, the ones that have shaped who you are, or even just bring a smile to your face.
Hold on to those thoughts as we dive in. Now, when most people think traditions, the first thing that pops up is connection. It seems pretty obvious that doing stuff together brings people closer, but is there more to it?
Well, it's like more than just hanging out, right? There's something about those repeated actions, the shared history.
You hit the nail on the head. Think of traditions like threads, weaving this tapestry of shared experiences. Each thread represents a moment, a memory, a connection passed down through generations.
I love that analogy. So it's not just about the individual moments, but the overall pattern they create, the story they tell.
Exactly. And from a psychological standpoint, this connection is powerful stuff. It reduces stress, increases happiness, helps us feel grounded.
Especially in a world that feels like it's spinning faster every day.
Absolutely. Like, think about those holiday gatherings or even just regular family dinners. Sharing those moments year after year, it creates a bond that goes beyond just, enjoying the food.
It becomes part of who you are as a family.
Exactly. You're building a sense of belonging, a shared history. And studies actually show that families with strong traditions tend to report higher levels of well-being. They're better equipped to handle tough times because they've got that built-in support system.
It's like those traditions become a source of strength, a reminder that you're not alone.
Exactly. And speaking of strength, this brings us to the idea of traditions as anchors. How do those rituals help us navigate the, ups and downs of life?
Well, if you think about it, in a world that's constantly changing, traditions offer the sense of stability, of continuity. They become these familiar touchstones that ground us.
It's like having a compass, right? When everything else feels chaotic, you can always rely on those traditions to bring you back to center.
Especially during times of uncertainty or transition, it's like having a routine that you can always count on, even when everything else feels out of control.
And this idea of finding stability amidst change is also a core principle in Buddhist philosophy. It's about accepting that life is full of ups and downs, but finding ways to stay grounded amidst the chaos.
So there's this deeper, almost philosophical aspect to traditions that we often overlook. It's not just about the warm fuzzies. There's a sense of purpose and meaning woven into these rituals.
Exactly. Traditions encourage mindfulness, being present in the moment, which is a central Buddhist teaching.
Mindfulness, right. Being fully engaged in what you're doing, rather than letting your mind wander to worries or distractions.
Exactly. And traditions can bring that mindfulness into our daily lives without even realizing it. Even simple acts like lighting a candle during dinner become imbued with this deeper significance.
They become these little rituals that help us pause, reflect, and appreciate the present moment.
You got it. And that's a powerful thing, especially in our fast-paced world. It's like hitting the reset button, taking a moment to reconnect with ourselves and with each other.
So we've got connection, stability, mindfulness. Sounds like traditions are laying a pretty solid foundation for a strong family unit. But what about identity? Where does that fit into all of this?
Identity. That's where traditions really start to shape who we are, both individually and as a family.
Okay, break it down for me. How do traditions contribute to our sense of identity?
Think of it like unique fingerprints. The traditions we practice, they become these markers of our family's identity. They're what set us apart, what make us us.
I love that analogy. So, celebrating birthdays in a quirky way, having those inside jokes that only your family gets those things, become part of your family's DNA.
Exactly. They're the threads that weave together the tapestry of your family's story.
And this shared identity isn't just about feel-good vibes, right? It has a real psychological impact.
You bet it does. Studies show that a strong family identity fosters pride, belonging, self-esteem. It creates this powerful support system that helps individuals thrive.
So it's like having a built-in cheerleading squad, a group of people who know you inside and out and are always there to root for you.
Exactly. And this translates into real-world benefits, too. Kids who grow up with strong family traditions tend to perform better academically, have better social skills, and they're even more resilient in the face of challenges.
Wow, I'm starting to see traditions in a whole new light.
Yeah.
It's like those seemingly mundane rituals we do together actually have this profound impact on who we are and how we navigate the world.
Exactly. They're shaping our values, our beliefs, our sense of self, and they're creating a foundation for a strong and resilient family unit.
You know, all this talk about resilience and support systems is making me think about the role that traditions play in creating a sense of security and trust within a family.
That's a great point. And you're right, there's a strong link between those predictable rituals, especially for children, and their ability to develop a sense of trust and emotional security.
It's like knowing that every Sunday means family game night, or that every holiday season involves certain activities. It creates this sense of predictability and safety.
It's like having a roadmap for life, knowing what to expect, and feeling safe within those boundaries.
It's like a comforting routine, a reminder that even when things are tough, you've got this solid foundation to fall back on.
Exactly. And that foundation of trust becomes a crucial resource during tough times. It reminds you that you're not alone, you've got people who've got your back, no matter what.
So it's not just about having fun together. It's about creating this safe and predictable environment where everyone feels supported and understood.
You got it. And that sense of safety, that trust, it allows for a deeper level of connection and understanding within the family.
Even when conflicts arise, as they inevitably do, the shared foundation of traditions can help you work through those challenges and come back together stronger.
Exactly. Think about it. Cooking a meal together, even if you're disagreeing about something, it becomes more than just preparing food. It's an act of collaboration, of shared creation.
It's a reminder that you're on the same team, working towards a common goal.
And that ties in beautifully with a key Buddhist principle, interconnectedness. Our actions have an impact on others, and traditions are a tangible reminder of that truth.
We're all in this together, folks.
Exactly. We're part of something bigger than ourselves, and traditions help us see that interconnectedness in a really concrete way.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about connection, stability, identity, trust. But I can't help but wonder if there's a connection between all of this and, success. Can traditions actually pave the way for a more successful life?
Now, there's a thought-provoking question, and I understand if that sounds a bit far-fetched. Like, how can something like family dinner traditions influence our success in the real world?
Right. Seems like a stretch. But I'm definitely curious to hear what our research has to say about it.
Well, get ready for some surprising insights, because the connection between traditions and success is deeper than you might think.
Okay, you've got my attention. Spill the beans. How do traditions actually contribute to success?
Let's start with the power of repeated rituals. Traditions, by their very nature, involve consistent actions repeated over time. And this consistency, this discipline, it's a key ingredient in achieving success in any area of life.
So it's like building good habits, right? Even if those habits seem small or insignificant, over time they can have a big impact.
Exactly. Like, think about saving for a family vacation. That might seem unrelated to bigger life goals, but it's subtly teaching you about financial discipline, about delayed gratification.
So even seemingly mundane traditions can actually help us develop those essential skills and mindsets that we need to succeed in other areas of our lives.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just skills and habits. When a family has traditions that celebrate achievements, big or small, it cultivates a success-oriented mindset.
So it's about acknowledging and celebrating those wins, even if they seem small, and reinforcing the idea that effort leads to rewards.
Exactly. Even something as simple as having a special dinner to celebrate a good report card can have a lasting impact.
It shows kids that their hard work is recognized and valued, and it helps them develop a positive association with success.
And here's where Buddhist philosophy ties in. Again, success, in the Buddhist sense, isn't just about external achievements.
It's about inner fulfillment, about living a life aligned with your values. And traditions, when done mindfully, can help us achieve that alignment.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance between striving for achievement and appreciating what you have in the present moment.
So it's not about pushing yourself to the limit all the time. It's about creating a life that feels balanced and fulfilling, both internally and externally.
You got it. And that's a recipe for true success, both in the Buddhist sense and in the way we typically think about success in our society.
Wow, I'm already seeing traditions in a whole new light. We've gone from warm fuzzies to anchors of stability to pathways to success, all rooted in these simple rituals we share as families.
And we're just getting started. There's even more to uncover about how traditions impact our financial well-being and how they help us appreciate the journey, not just the destination.
Okay, I'm officially hooked.
Eh.
Can't wait to dive deeper into these fascinating connections in our next episode.
Stay tuned, folks. We're about to unlock even more of the hidden power of family traditions, ready to explore a connection that might surprise you.
Oh, I'm always up for a good surprise. Lay it on me. What are we diving into now?
Well, we've been talking about all the amazing benefits of traditions, connections, stability, even success.
Right. Building those strong families, creating fulfilling lives, all that good stuff.
Exactly. But now we're going to explore how traditions can actually influence something you might not expect, our financial well-being.
Okay, now that's interesting. I gotta admit, I don't usually think of like Sunday brunch with the family as having anything to do with my finances.
I hear you. It might seem counterintuitive at first, but the connection is there. It's subtle, but powerful.
Okay, I'm all ears. How do traditions and financial well-being actually connect?
Well, it starts with the values that are woven into those rituals. Think about it. Traditions often involve stories, practices that get passed down through generations.
Right, like grandma's secret recipe or that annual camping trip we always take.
Exactly. And those stories, whether they're about overcoming hardship or achieving financial stability, they carry a wealth of wisdom, practical knowledge that's been passed down through generations.
So it's like a built-in mentorship program where the older generation is subtly teaching the younger generation about money without even realizing it.
You got it. And it's not just about the stories themselves, it's about experiencing those values in action year after year.
So it's one thing to tell your kids to save money, but it's another thing entirely to, say, involve them in a family tradition of saving for a special vacation.
Exactly. Those shared experiences create these lasting memories, these emotional connections that make those values stick.
It's like embedding those financial principles into the very fabric of your family culture.
Precisely. But what about those families that don't have a tradition of talking about money? How can traditions help in those cases?
That's a good point. It seems like money is often this taboo topic that people shy away from discussing.
It's true, and that silence can actually create more anxiety and secrecy around finances.
Yeah, it's like the less we talk about it, the bigger and scarier it becomes in our minds.
Exactly. But even in those families, traditions can be a powerful tool for shifting those dynamics. It's about finding creative ways to weave financial literacy into existing rituals.
So like, instead of just having a family game night, you could choose games that involve budgeting or investing.
Exactly. Make it fun, make it interactive, and suddenly you're learning about money without even realizing it.
I love that. It's like sneaking in those valuable lessons under the guise of family fun.
And those conversations, facilitated through traditions, can have a ripple effect on the entire family's financial well-being.
So we've got the storytelling aspect, the shared experiences, but what about the emotional side of money? How do traditions help us navigate those often tricky feelings?
That's a crucial point. Remember how we talked about traditions fostering a success-oriented mindset? Well, that applies to finances too.
Okay, so if we celebrate those financial wins, no matter how small, it can create a more positive association with money.
Exactly. Even something like having a family dinner to celebrate paying off a debt, it can shift our perspective.
It's like instead of dreading dealing with finances, we start to see them as something we can control, something we can celebrate.
Precisely. It reinforces this idea that positive change is possible, that we can achieve our financial goals.
I'm seeing how all these pieces fit together, the discipline, the values, the mindset, all reinforced through those traditions.
And let's not forget the emotional support that traditions provide, especially during times of financial stress.
Right. Like if you lose your job or face unexpected expenses, having those family rituals, those connections to fall back on can be a lifeline.
Exactly. It's a reminder that you're not alone in those challenges, that you have people you can lean on.
It's that sense of security, that shared history that can help you navigate those tough times with more resilience.
Okay, so we've covered how traditions can help us build a healthy relationship with money. But I'm curious, is there a connection between traditions and how we view success itself? Like, can they help us appreciate the journey, not just the destination? That's a brilliant question, and you've hit on a crucial point. It's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, always striving for that next big thing, that we forget to pause and acknowledge how far we've come.
It's like we're always looking ahead, never really taking the time to savor the present moment.
And that can lead to a sense of dissatisfaction, even when we achieve our goals. But traditions offer a way to break free from that cycle
Okay, how do they do that?
by providing opportunities for celebration. Celebrating milestones, both big and small. Whether it's a family dinner to mark a promotion or a simple ritual of expressing gratitude for what we have, those moments of acknowledgement are crucial.
I love that idea of incorporating gratitude into traditions. It's so easy to take things for granted when we're constantly focused on what's next.
Gratitude is a powerful antidote to that sense of dissatisfaction, and traditions give us a framework for cultivating gratitude on a regular basis.
So it's about pausing to appreciate the good things in our lives, the people we love, the progress we've made.
Exactly. It's about taking a snapshot of time, savoring the present moment, before rushing on to the next thing.
And those snapshots, those shared memories, become part of the tapestry of our family's story.
Beautifully said. And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of traditions. Their ability to connect us to something larger than ourselves, something that transcends our individual lives.
Ooh, now we're getting philosophical.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. How do traditions connect us to something bigger than ourselves?
Well, think about it. Every tradition we carry forward is a link to the generations that came before us.
It's a way of honoring our ancestors, acknowledging their sacrifices, and carrying forward their legacy.
Precisely. And in doing so, we're not just preserving the past, we're actively shaping the future. We're contributing to something that will continue long after we're gone.
It's like we're all part of this grand narrative, this story that's been unfolding for generations and will continue to unfold long after we've played our part.
And that realization can be incredibly empowering. It gives us a sense of purpose and meaning, a feeling that we are part of something much bigger than ourselves.
It's humbling, isn't it, to realize that we're just one small piece of this much larger puzzle.
It is. And it gives a sense of responsibility, too. We have this incredible opportunity to shape the next chapter of our family's story.
So traditions aren't just about warm, fuzzy feelings or even achieving success. They're about carrying forward the essence of who we are as a family, honoring our past and shaping our future.
Exactly. They're a way of weaving together the past, present, and future into this tapestry of shared experience and meaning.
I'm starting to see traditions in a whole new light. They're not just rituals, they're living embodiments of our family's story.
And that story is something we have the power to shape, to enrich, to pass on to future generations. So we've uncovered these amazing connections between traditions and our well-being, our success, even our sense of who we are as a family.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it. Those seemingly simple rituals have this ripple effect that extends far beyond the moment itself.
Right. And that brings us to what I think is the most fascinating aspect of all. How traditions connect us to something bigger than ourselves, something that transcends our individual lives.
Okay, now you've really got my attention. We've talked about connection within the family, but how do traditions extend beyond that immediate circle?
Think about it. Every tradition we carry forward, it's like a link to the generations that came before us.
It's a way of honoring our ancestors, right? Acknowledging their struggles, their triumphs, carrying their stories forward.
Exactly. It's like we're participating in a living history, keeping those memories alive through our actions.
And in doing so, we're not just preserving the past, we're actively shaping the future.
You got it. We're weaving our own experiences, our own values into the tapestry of our family's story.
It's like we're adding our own chapter to a book that's been passed down through generations.
And that book, that legacy, it's going to continue long after we're gone.
Wow, that's a powerful thought. to realize that we're part of something much larger than ourselves, something that will continue to evolve and grow long after we've played our part.
It's humbling, isn't it? And incredibly empowering at the same time, because we have this opportunity to contribute to that story, to shape the next chapter.
So it's not just about us and our immediate family, it's about honoring the past and paving the way for the future.
Exactly. And that sense of connection to something larger than ourselves, it can give us a sense of purpose, of meaning. It reminds us that we're part of something that transcends our individual lives.
It's like we're all connected by these invisible threads woven together through time and tradition.
Beautifully said. And those threads, those traditions, they carry a powerful message for future generations. They speak volumes about who we are, what we value, what we hope to pass on.
It's like leaving behind a legacy, not just in words, but in actions.
Exactly. It's a way of saying, hey, this is what matters to us. This is what we believe in. This is who we are.
And those traditions, they're not set in stone, right? We can adapt them, evolve them, even create new ones that reflect who we are and what we want to pass on.
Absolutely. Traditions should be living, breathing things that reflect the changing needs and values of each generation.
It's like taking that old family recipe and adding your own twist, making it your own.
And in doing so, you're honoring the past while also shaping the future. You're keeping those traditions alive and relevant for generations to come.
This has been such an incredible journey. We started with these seemingly simple rituals, and we've uncovered this whole world of meaning and connection.
It's amazing, isn't it, how something as simple as a family dinner or a holiday tradition can have such a profound impact on our lives.
And I hope our listeners are feeling inspired to take a closer look at their own traditions, to see those hidden layers of meaning and power.
Me too. Because ultimately, we all have the power to shape our family's legacy, one tradition at a time.
That's a beautiful thought to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the unexpected power of family traditions.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep those traditions alive.